everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Carissa here. I am bored in the house, and so today we're going to be playing with some makeup. I have been working really hard to try to figure out how to cream contour. I don't know if you are familiar with Tati Westbrook. She's a huge beauty influencer. She has a YouTube channel herself, and she is just so full of knowledge and so many great tips and tricks of just having a lot of time in the trade and a lot of time loving and working with beauty. So today I'm going to be attempting to cream contour, and hopefully it looks good. I've been practicing and not filming it, so I'm feeling comfortable enough now to hopefully try to do this. So the whole point of doing a cream contour is to really sculpt the face. Some people are not fans of that look, and that's okay. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. But for me, it's something that I've always really been interested in learning to do, and it just seemed like something that I wasn't capable of doing. But I don't know why I ever thought that, because if you have time to learn and the will to practice, then you can learn anything. I am again filming in my bedroom. I don't know why. I have just really been enjoying like the lighting that I get from being in here. I could probably get the same lighting downstairs, but when I'm in here, there's not a lot of distraction. All the animals are calm, and it's just like a nice relaxing way for me to just film and be comfortable. And also a lot of times when I'm getting ready for things anyway, I will sit in bed and do my makeup, because lazy girl for life. So if you would like to go on that journey with me of learning to do a cream contour, then please continue watching. Here we go. You're gonna need 2 different shades of concealer to do this. You're going to need darker shades for your contour, and then you're going to need lighter shades for your highlight. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base for my highlighted areas, and then I'm going to be using a NYX concealer for the contouring. I'm going to be using the shade Nutmeg, and I'm going to be using C2 for my highlight. It's gonna seem a little weird and it's gonna seem a little extreme, but the end result is so beautiful and truly just looks so much nicer on the skin. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it does, and it's just really a great technique. I've got my primer on, and what I'm gonna do is take my lighter concealer, and I'm gonna go in on all of the places that I want to highlight and brighten on the face, okay? And also conceal. So I have a pimple right here, and we're just gonna cover that like so, and I'm gonna leave that and let that sit. Over here, under the eyes, okay? Under the eyes, right in the center of the chin. I don't like to do a lot on my chin. Some people like to do a lot, but I really don't. And then right in the center of the forehead. And then I'm actually gonna go right here, just a little bit on the side of the jaw, and right there, and I'm keeping that low. So that is it for the lighter concealer. I know it looks like a lot, and I know it's light. I personally prefer a lighter, brighter shade for my highlighting, and that's why my shade is so light. If you prefer to do a more natural shade, something that's closer to your natural skin tone, of course do that. I have my head tilted slightly down, and if you look, you can see the natural shadow that appears. So I'm going to take my contouring shade, and I'm going to apply that right at that shadow point. Okay, now I know it's dark, but that is the point of it. We're contouring, we want to create a shadow in that area. So in the same thing on the other side, tilt your head down, and you'll see that natural shadow appear. I'm gonna take a little bit more product, and I'm gonna put it on the nose to do my nose contour. Okay, and then I'm going to be putting it on my forehead as well. If this is your first time trying this and you're just kind of going along with me, use a little bit less than you think you'll need. It's gonna be easier to go back and add more than it will be to take away. So I've been doing this a few times now. I've kind of worked out how much I need of the product, and so I'm more comfortable with the amount that I'm putting on. But if you are not positive of what you're doing, if this is your first time, start with a little bit less and you can always build up and add more. I'm gonna take a little foundation brush. Tati uses a brush sort of similar, not quite, but similar enough to this. So I'm gonna be using a foundation brush, and I'm gonna use my beauty blender as well. But I'm gonna start with my foundation brush, and I'm going to go in where I did that darker contour, and I'm gonna start blending that out. Now we do this by using the brush and kind of stippling and stroking. The key here is to really blend everything back and up rather than forward and down. If you bring things forward and down, it's gonna bring your contour too close to the mouth area, and it's going to just really deepen this area down here in the jawline where we want it to be brighter. Just kind of stippling and bringing everything back and up. I like to leave the bottom a little stronger because I like more of like that chiseled look, but if you want it to be a little more blended and natural looking, then just go right along the bottom and blend it out a little bit more than I am. But as you can see, now that I have most of my product blended, I'm taking the brush at an angle and very, very lightly blending it slightly forward, but only just a little bit. I don't want to bring it anywhere around my mouth. I don't want it around my mouth. I want it to stay back where it belongs to give me that contour. Once you're happy with how that's blended, you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Is this completely blended into my skin? No, and I don't want it to be, because in just a few minutes we're gonna go over with our foundation and seamlessly blend everything together. But for now, we just wanna blend out that contour so that it's giving us that shape that we want and that shadow and contour that we want, but we're not blending it completely into the skin. You should definitely still be able to see it. And also remember to bring it back into the ear and hair a little bit when you're blending. So that you don't have a disconnect there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side real quick, and we'll be right back. Take your time and really work with the product, because you want to get a good blend. You don't want to leave anything looking really harsh or crazy. I know that I look very dramatic and extreme right now, but when we're done, you'll see how everything comes together to give you a really flawless look.
I never finished my thought earlier. The technique that I'm using, I learned from Tati Westbrook. She is amazing. You should definitely check her out.
Okay, feeling pretty good about that. Now I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm gonna go in and start blending out my concealer, and I'm gonna save my nose for last. Alright, I'm just about done. Now I'm going to take a very small brush. This is the brush that I typically would use for my nose contour. It does not have any numbers, but I'm going to show you the shape of it. If you can see, it's a smaller, denser brush, but I like it because it allows me to be a little sharper and more precise with the lines that I'm creating. So I'm going to take this brush and gently blend this out. Now the same thing as when we were blending out our contour with the jawline, you want to be careful not to bring everything up. You don't want to bring everything up into the center because we want to keep that lightness that we have in the center of the nose. So using the brush, just kind of blending down. I'm going to take some concealer And I'm going to take my beauty blender and continue to just really blend out the nose. Now I'm adding just a little bit extra concealer in the center of my nose because I did bring my dark contour too far in, and I just need to fix that. We don't want my nose to be looking crazy. And I'm gonna add a little bit extra concealer right under my eyes just because I do get a lot of redness in that area and I want my skin to look really flawless today. I'm gonna go right in with that beauty blender and blend all of that out. Now I'm gonna take my beauty blender and go ahead and go over the nose contour and blend that the best that you possibly can. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with my brush and just sharpen where I need to sharpen. And everything else we're gonna leave alone. I definitely look pretty extreme right now, but I'm gonna go in with my foundation and cover everything up and blend everything out, and we're gonna be left with a really nice result. So I'm taking my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation in the shade Soft Beige, and I'm gonna apply that over my entire face. Not using a lot of product, I'm gonna work with a little bit and just add more as needed, but I'm going to apply over the entire face, over the contour and the highlight, and blend that out. Here we go. I'm just using light patting motions. I don't want to use any kind of swiping motion. Really, I'm just patting in that foundation and applying it to my entire face. The key when you're trying to learn how to do this is to just go at your own pace. Do it at a time where it's not gonna matter if you look crazy, and trust yourself. Just trust the steps, trust the process. No, it's gonna look a little bit crazy when you're beginning, but once you get to the end, you're gonna be really happy with your results. I don't have any other makeup on right now other than concealer and foundation, and I think my skin looks pretty darn good. So I'm just going to go through the rest of the routine really quickly with you guys, and let's see the end result. Now that we have on all of that stuff, we need to go in and set the face a little bit. I'm going to take my Juvia's Place setting powder. This is the I Am Magic setting powder in the shade White Sands. It's just a nice light powder, and I'm actually going to bake a little bit. I don't like to do anything too crazy, but I find it does help set your makeup nicely. So I just took my beauty sponge and dipped it right into that powder and got a nice light coating, and I'm going in under the eye where I did that lighter concealer and brightening up the eye. So this is what my sponge looks like. Okay, so, you know, it's a good bit, not super packed on there, but enough to definitely get it onto the skin. So I'm just taking the sponge and patting that in. I'm gonna take a little bit more and just apply some to my chin, lightly apply to my nose as well. If you want a less extreme version of setting your face, you can just take the same powder on a fluffy brush and apply it to your face. I'm going to take my bronzer and apply a little bit to the face. So definitely being light-handed here and just building up the product as I need it, not going in super heavy because I already have my contour. So this is just gonna kind of help set it a little bit and add a little extra oomph. So yeah, that was a little too much. I went a little bit heavy. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and blend that out a little bit. That's better, okay? It's still Still a little intense, but it's not too bad. I'm not gonna add any extra product, and I'm gonna go in on the other side and do the same, just a little on the forehead, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna lightly hit the nose, and that's it. And then I'm going to take that clean brush and just make sure that everything is looking how I want it. And just kind of blend around the edges a little bit. I'm gonna take my Beige Cosmetics blush. This is Caribbean Floral. I love this blush. I really love this blush so much. I don't know why, but I just love it so much. And it's like really getting low, and that makes me sad because I don't know if they even make it anymore. So, apply the blush. That's kind of a lot, but that's okay. I like blush. I don't mind having a lot of blush on, that's fine. And apply to the other side. Okay. Woo. I want to keep my eye look really simple today. I just wanted to focus on my skin, so I'm gonna go off camera really quick and do a quick eye look, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back off camera. I did my brows and my eye look really quick, and I went ahead and put on a lip. If you are interested, that is, let's see, where did my gloss go? Okay, if you're interested in my lip combo, it is a lip pencil by Essence, a soft contouring lip liner in the shade Under My Skin, and then the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Here's to You, and it's just, you know, it's a really cute, very shimmery gloss. So that's these guys paired together, not too shabby. So the last and very final step is to just apply a little bit of highlighter, and I'm not gonna do a lot today. I'm gonna go very light-handed. This is a highlight palette that I got from Cosmetics. It is the Deluxe Glow highlighter. I've been using it for a little while now, and the more that I use it, the more that I'm starting to like it. The highlights are definitely kind of powdery and a little dry, but they still look pretty on the skin. So I'm gonna take these two right here, and I'm gonna tap off my brush and lightly apply to the high point of the cheek. These highlights are pretty because they're just very natural. And then I'm gonna take the leftover product and apply right down the nose and right under the brow. Okay, so that's it. Ta-da, voila. This is definitely, like I said, something that takes practice, and the more that you practice, the more comfortable you're gonna feel. But it's honestly, once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad, and the result is really beautiful. Definitely something that I will continue to do with my makeup routine. Oh my God, that just shot me right in the face. Wow, that's empty. That is empty, and that just went right at my face. Wow. Okay. If that ever happens to you and your setting spray decides to freak out and attack your face, take a beauty sponge and just very gently pat it in. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Okay, everybody, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you try this technique, how did it work out for you? Were you happy with the result? This is Carissa. You are watching Carissa Explains It All, and I will see you next time.